Hello, hello
Hello
to
to
all
all
my
my
beautiful
beautiful guys
guys
and
and
goddesses.
goddesses.
This is your girl, most beautiful, and this is gonna be my story time. My first time telling my story of the time when I had my son. But you guys know baby Kyrie, Papa. This is my story time and my experience of what I went through at Aurora Hospital in West Dallas. So the Women's Pavillion Center is off of 89th and Lincoln. This is my story of how they did me. So while I'm telling my story, I'm actually breastfeeding. So November 17th, I went in because I was supposed to be getting induced. Now mind you, when the nurse was checking for me and she checked and she saw the baby was halfway breech. So moving along, I was about like 3 centimeters. So they got the doctor and another woman doctor to turn baby Kyrie, which they put pressure on my stomach and went into circles so eventually he got put down into the correct position where he was supposed to go. Okay. So I'm moving along. The next following day after still being checked, I was still coming along briefly. I was probably going into like maybe about 5, maybe 6 centimeters, because he was still coming down. And they sent another doctor in, which this doctor I had never seen before. She came in with gloves on with her hands. She never once washed her hands or anything. So mind you, I'm having contractions. I'm hurting really bad because the contractions are coming back to back, and they gave me medicine to like make the contractions where they come and keep coming, and I'm just like, look here, this is just becoming unbearable because I'm having contractions back to back. And before I know it, she just went inside of me and broke my water bag. And I'm like, did she just break my water bag? Yeah, she broke my water bag. So a little bit after that, I wasn't like feeling too good. I began to have fever, chills, shakes, and just not feeling to myself in labor. And I'm just like, what is going on with me? Why do I feel so sick? Like, what is going on? And all along, this doctor, when she first came in, all she kept talking about was a C-section for me. So it's like, your words are powerful when you speak stuff. And do you know I actually had to get a C-section? But it's how it was done. You know. So moving along, I kept having the chills, the shakes. I didn't know what was going on with me, y'all. Like, I'm telling you, this was like some stuff off of the Lifetime movie I felt like I went through. The nurses checked my blood more, went into it, and they found that I had caught a deadly infection. So by this doctor not washing her hands, you guys, I had caught an infection, and my baby also had caught an infection. And so my uterus started closing on him, and I was preferably about 8 centimeters at this time. My heart rate began to go up. It was over 200. His heart rate was up to 200. She then kept saying to me, you need to get a C-section. You need to get a C-section. You need to get a C-section. And if you don't get a C-section, I'm going to have these doctors here as Well, my nurses here, I'm saying it wrong. The doctor would say, I'm going to have these nurses here as my witness that you are refusing to sign this C-section. And pretty much I'm not going to be at fault for this. But she was already at fault because, for one, being in the medical field and me being in the medical field for over 16 plus years and being a medical assistant, you are supposed to wash your hands in and out of patients, because when you touch a door, that is germs, okay? So that's where she messed up at, because you are supposed to wash your hands continuously in between patients when you're doing things, when you're touching things. We're talking about in 2021, you guys, and this is around when COVID was at its most highest. So she comes to me again because this time, after walking off away from me and my partner, she walked away from us rudely and ignored me. And I'm trying to get a question to talk to her and, tell her how I feel. And this lady walked off on me. So after she calmed down, she came back and she went to apologizing about how sorry she was and all of this other stuff. And I pretty much just told her how I felt. Like, I didn't want her to do my C-section because she had infected me, number one. Number two, how unprofessional she was. And like I told her, me being in the medical field, I never treated none of my patients this way, the way she treated me. I would never treat another individual, another human, the way she treated me, like I was not. And it just was so weird. It just was like something off a Lifetime movie, like something like a dream that you just want to wake up, like a bad dream you just want to wake up from and don't have to experience. And it had been so hard for me, so hard for me to come to you guys and tell my story, because I really wanted to be able to come to you guys and tell my story, because this really has been like eating me up inside and like alive, like in my heart. Like, I had just been so hurt, and it took so much strength for me to just be able to say this out my mouth to you guys and just tell you what I have been going through and what I had experienced and my experience. And so I'm just kind of happy that I'm able to start speaking out more about it, because I've done like my grievances on the hospital. I had spoke with the main head nurse about things when all this stuff had happened. And so I'm just happy to be able to express myself more. So moving along, let's keep going. Let's not move. So I had seen a second doctor to get another opinion about me getting a C-section, because moving along, you guys, she was so big on me getting this C-section. She wanted me to get this C-section so bad, and she told my partner, well, I just want to give her this C-section because we just want her to have her baby, and she just have her baby, and the baby will be here fine. But moving along, I found out that I had caught an infection, because she didn't wash her hands, and she kept the same gloves on from when she came into the door. And it just was a lot. So I seen a second doctor, and she was telling me how like I didn't have to get a C-section, and was telling him, like, just talking to me. And so then she had left. And so then here comes this other doctor, Dr. Lloyd to be exact was her name. She was an older Caucasian lady, somewhere roughly probably in her 60s, 70s she looked. And she's like, yeah, after apologizing, she's like, yeah, so we could do the C-section. I want to do the C-section. Baby's heart rate is over 200. Your heart rate is over 200. He's really struggling. I really want you to get this done. And I'm just like, I don't want you. Like, where is the other doctor that I seen to do this C-section because I don't want you touching me. And she's like, well, I've apologized. I'm sorry. And I'm just really, really concerned about the baby because he's struggling. And so, me being a mother, already now, you guys, I was high risk because I was a diabetic, however you want to say it. I had diabetes while I was pregnant. So, yeah. So, me already being high risk, she didn't even take into mind or could take in consideration of my health. And that's what bothered me. And so I just said, okay, just forget it. I don't even care. I was just so concerned about my baby. So I went ahead, I got the C-section. After she did C-section, I never see this woman. I did not see this woman anymore. It was just so weird. Like, how do you cut somebody, not talk to them, not say anything? Like, it just was weird. Like, my body, my higher self told me she took something from me more than what she was supposed to, or did more than what she was supposed to do, because it was just so weird, the encounter, how she was just so frantic on me getting a C-section. And before that, and I got the medicine where I had to get the the medicine put in my back and stuff. They coming to me with all these papers like, yeah, you can get your tubes tied if you want, because I was contemplating on that, and everybody kept telling me like, yeah, you should go ahead and do it because you have 6 kids already. And I just have regrets on that. Like, honestly, I'm always hurting. I'm still hurting. I'm still in pain from getting these clamps over my tubes. Had I known I was going to go through all this pain and deal with all this pain, I would have never got this done. Like, it's not worth it. And with everything that's had happened to me, I don't trust for anybody to actually go back in me, because there's no telling with so much going on if you'll wake back up because of just crazy individuals, and everything I had already been through with this hospital. So she did the C-section, and they had tied my tubes or whatever. I put the clamps or whatever they do to put the tube ligation and do the tube ligation. And it was tube ligation, not tying your tubes. But it just, I don't know, my body, it took so long for it to heal. Still feel like I'm healing. My baby had went through so much during my stay there after I had him. So let me go into after I had him, you guys.